Good evening and welcome back. This is Dr. Alex, and today I want to address this issue we call rhesus factor test. Rhesus factors test. Most of the people who have been pregnant and have attended a clinic can testify the importance of doing this test of rhesus factor. And you see, sometimes most of the people don't know what is rhesus factor. Now, rhesus factor is an antigen that is found on the surface of the red blood cells. Remember that everybody has red blood cells. So, rhesus factor, it is an antigen that is found on the surface of red blood cells. We have negative rhesus factor and positive rhesus factor. Now, this is where we get interested in this thing. You see, sometimes, ladies, when you get pregnant, maybe by mistake, and you feel like you want to do an abortion, this is a very important test you need to do. Why? Sometimes you could be rhesus negative mother now, and you got pregnant by a man who is rhesus positive, right? Now, when you do an abortion and you don't do this test of rhesus factor, do you know it is very, 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 very dangerous? Why? Because the moment you do an abortion and you don't know the status of the rhesus factor, you could be rhesus negative and you got pregnant to a man who is rhesus positive. Now, when you do an abortion, there is something we call sensitization, whereby your body, because this rhesus factor, it is an antigen on the surface of the red blood cells. The antibodies get activated. Remember that when you do the abortion, there is that mix up of the mother's blood and the fetus blood. So in the process, that mix up, you'll end up having activating the antibodies in the mother's side, whereby in future when you get pregnant to a man who is rhesus positive, you'll always have a miscarriage. I don't know whether you are getting my point. It is very important for you to know your rhesus status, because when you do that abortion and you don't know your rhesus factor and the rhesus factor of the person you got pregnant with, it may cause you not to have a baby, because every time you conceive, after maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you get a miscarriage. Why? Because the antibodies in you as a woman got activated, they got sensitized, so that when you get pregnant from a man who is rhesus positive, you'll always get a miscarriage. So it is very, very important for you to know, even if you want to go and do that abortion, you have to know the rhesus factor in between you and your husband or your boyfriend. Why? Because for example, if you are rhesus negative, and the person you got pregnant is rhesus positive, after that process of abortion, you need an injection. And most of the time that injection, we call it anti-D. And most of the time that injection, you are given around 28 weeks of pregnant and 72 hours after delivery. So it is very, very important. And that's why you're having so many complaints of miscarriage. Why? Because you are rhesus negative, and at least 85% of men are rhesus positive. So it is very difficult for you to find a man who is rhesus negative. So in the process, when you get pregnant to a man who is rhesus positive, you will end up having a miscarriage. Why? Because the antibodies in you sees that child as a foreign body. So in the process, it will keep on fighting. It will keep on fighting that pregnancy, and you will end up having a miscarriage. That's why after a test and you find that you are rhesus negative, you will always have an injection of anti-D to prevent the activation of these antibodies in your body, so that they won't fight they won't fight the baby you are carrying. The first pregnancy may survive because the antibodies in you are not activated, but the subsequent pregnancies, you'll end up having a miscarriage, always having a miscarriage. Why? Because you never got anti-D injection, and that's why it is very, very important. I've seen most of the ladies or most of the girls normally ask for abortion, but they don't know the importance of these tests. They don't know the importance of these tests, and most of the healthcare workers don't do this test, and in the process you will end up having miscarriages, time on time on time on. So it is very important to do that test of rhesus factor, especially whether when you are the first pregnancy, or we call them the primee. It is very important to do rhesus factor. So those, that is one of the leading cause of miscarriages, and most of the people don't know what causes the problem. So that's the main cause of so many miscarriages in this country. So the other video, we may talk about other causes of miscarriages. We may talk about other causes of miscarriages. So stay tuned. Make sure that you follow me. Hit that button, guys, and make sure you also follow me on my YouTube channel. The name is Alex Toil on the YouTube channel, and I will be able to educate you more on those issues, matters in health. So thank you, guys, and have a good day.